How can we pray? What are good things to pray for? Yeah, I don't want to make this, too cursory or anything like that, but I think a couple of things that I think about that we could be praying for in the midst of suffering would be kind of a little bit in line with what we've talked about a little bit already. And I mean, the big themes that I think about are worship and sin. The basic thing that prevents us from being able to worship well, and worship being the thing that we're tempted to not also do when we're suffering. And so the prayer would go something like this: that God would help you understand and know what it means to worship Him, and to love Him, and to know Him, and to be able to trust Him more, and to believe in the gospel more, that there's purpose in the suffering, that there is meaning in this suffering, and that He will be glorified somehow in this suffering, and that if it meant for Him to be more glorified, then be okay with the suffering in a way. But it's all sort of part of a larger sort of package, if you will, of worshiping God. And so that would be the prayer, that so just asking God, help me to worship, help me to love You and to know You and to trust You and to worship You. And then the thing that prevents the worship is sin. So I think that where we're most vulnerable because of suffering, I think sin becomes easier to do while we're suffering. So, your prayer would be that God would show you your sin, that God would protect you from sin, that God would guard your heart, and He would just help you be on alert in the ways that we've already mentioned earlier about how we behave, how we think, how we feel, and just to again, draw near the Word, stay in prayer, be with God's people, and use all those other elements to let God show you your sin, even while you're in suffering, because we can sin while we're suffering, and your suffering isn't without purpose. God has a purpose in your suffering. It's part of His ordination in your life, His plan for your life. And so if we can appeal to God's grace to let us see our sin a little bit more, that is a good thing. Because the greater I think that becomes, the greater you can see your sin and your proneness to certain sorts of sins. I think the greater your capacity will be to worship God and love God and adore Him, and to love the gospel, to believe the gospel as well. So I think those are two things that I would recommend praying for. But there's a lot of other things, but maybe start off with that would be good. Hey there, did you like this video? If you did, please comment, rate, and share this video with someone you think might benefit from it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and hit the alarm bell so you'll be notified next time I upload new content. Thank you so much for listening today. I look forward to connecting with you next time. Until then, talk to you soon. Bye.